Today we're going to be looking at a first impressions, first hands-on reaction to Dead Island 2. I'm Jason.
And I'm Ethan.
Ethan has played the game. He has not beat it. He is in the game. He's in the weeds of the game. I have not touched it yet, so it's going to mainly be just his first impressions and reaction to the video. So, I'll let you take it away just with some first thoughts on the game, just general.
All right. Well, to start off, the game is beautiful. I mean, the graphics are fantastic. The fact that, when you hit a zombie, pieces of it come off, and by the time you're done, they're just a bloody pile is phenomenal. The gore is insane. I mean, they went all out with the gore. So far the story's pretty entertaining. The characters are actually pretty funny. It's not like too serious. They actually did stick with their roots. How the first one was, it was dark, but there were a bunch of funny moments, and they really stuck true to that, especially with their characters. Ryan being you think he's this big bad firefighter when in reality he's just a firefighter theme stripper.
Yeah.
It fits the theme of the game. It's very, very fitting. And honestly, like the whole aesthetic of the game is beautiful. Hell A is gorgeous. They really went all out on, the design of the game and everything. Only thing I really am not a fan of so far, I haven't really found any like unique weapons or mods. Like, Dead Island 1, the mods were like rampant and they were like they would change everything. Granted, I don't know, I think I'm like in the ninth story mission or something. But
A
I don't
little
know.
bit in there, yeah.
Hopefully I find some more entertaining weapons. It's just basically been your run of the mill axes, golf club, stuff like that. I haven't really found anything too spectacular yet.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully I find something better to really, make it feel worth it, and better mods.
Yep. So Dead Island 2, I guess a good thing, a good question to ask is how much does the first game play into this? Do you need to play the first game to be able to play the second game? Doesn't seem like it.
Honestly, not at all. There's nothing really tying this game to the first one besides the incorporation of Sam B in the story. And all he mentions is like he only talks about the other characters. He doesn't even really like mention anything. Really, the only thing that he does mention about the other games is that the infection has happened twice before and it's been covered up by the government. That's like the first three missions in. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's the first he says that. So it's nothing like spoiler wise, and it's honestly just like a little bit of a nod to the other games, but there's no real connection.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Cool. They make it very accessible if you have not played the other games. I mean, um, I think
Which, let's be honest, after 8 years of waiting for the game, you would think maybe they shouldn't make it tied into the other one.
no, no. Honestly, it's such a weird. It's such a weird one. It's such a weird one. Um, we'll get more into that. So, kind of run us down through the aesthetic. We know Dead Island 1 took place on an island, and now we're going to LA. A lot of promotional material based around LA. I think it's a great setting. I think it's a
Uh,
fantastic setting. How does it actually play?
it's a gorgeous setting, and it plays out nice. To see all these like the streets of like Beverly Hills or Bel Air or Santa Monica just filled with zombies is a sight. It is a beautiful setting. Really, I was kind of curious how they were going to go with the whole theme of going from Bonoi and whatever one they were on in Riptide, which I didn't really care
Mm-hmm.
enough about, to LA.
Major city, right?
And really it's gorgeous. It's actually pretty neat. The one nice thing too is they got rid of driving, which is hit or miss. I mean, we used to like
Yeah.
driving, but there's times it would freeze and the car would just go flying through the air and just keep going. It was kind of game breaking. So
Yeah.
it's nice they got rid of that. You do just basically walk everywhere, but they made it condensed enough that it's not that big of a deal to walk everywhere. And honestly, they made it a lot more open world. Like you have to find the side quest, you have to find, all these secrets and everything like that. So it is a pretty entertaining thing to just kind of waste time
Okay.
on.
So you talked about that a little bit. Now the story, you said the story, it is good so far? It is good
So
so
far,
far?
so
Kind of.
far it's good. The only thing I'm concerned about is I'm, 9 chapters in. It tells you how many there are. There's like 24 story missions. I'm 9 in so far, and really, it's just been kind of stupid stuff up to this point. I mean, I like the characters so far. I don't think I really hate any of the, characters you meet. They've been pretty entertaining. I don't know. I think 3 These last couple missions have just been me chasing one person.
Yeah.
And it kind of sucks because I'm a little worried that they're gonna like run out of time, air quotes, for the story to really wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully they get it sorted out quick. You know.
Yeah, it should be interesting to come back to this a little bit later once we finish the game, once more is revealed about the end game, how the whole game plays out, because this game was in development hell for like 10 years, and you can tell me they switched studios a few
I think it
times.
was 3 times they've switched, 2 or 3 different times they switched studios.
3 times, and when you do something like that, you run a risk of basically doing a whole game all over again, over and
Right.
over again. And I wonder how much content they were able to cram. You said they took out driving. That could also have been because they didn't want to implement a driving system, or they didn't have time to implement a
Right.
driving system. It could have been a last minute thing. I don't know, just talking from the hip.
Well,
But
I can tell you the streets are full of like vehicles and stuff, and honestly, it would be hell to try to drive through it. There's so many twists and turns and walls, and it's just I don't know. It's probably better off without driving.
yeah.
You know, at least like with Benoit, they could design the whole island how they wanted, so they could make it great to drive in. Whereas with this one, I mean, you can't exactly redesign LA for your game and then say it's based in LA. You know, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
probably had to just deal with it. And honestly, I think it works out pretty good. You don't really need the driving.
Gotcha. So we'll move a little bit into the gameplay aspect. How does the gameplay? How does it feel? Triple title game, $70 price point.
So far, it actually flows pretty nice. It feels good. Only thing, and this is just me personally, you know, I feel like when I hit a zombie, I'm not really doing anything. You know, like before you would hit a zombie and you would see them kind of stagger. Now when you hit a zombie, it like they stagger, but it's like a millisecond, and then they swing at you. It's not like anything crazy unless you hit them with like a heavy attack or you like a drop kick.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you know, it is over the top now. You know what I mean? Like you have a drop kick where you literally lay out and kick the zombie and send them flying. You know, it does play nice, and you can like cut off limbs and stuff while you're fighting them or break them like you used to be able to.
Right.
But I don't know. I think I might just be a little nostalgic for Dead Island 1, and it might be a little biased, but I feel like it could have been a little bit more like if I hit them with a sledgehammer, you know, they're not going to exactly swing back a millisecond later.
Yeah, gameplay's fun. It feels good. The weapons feel okay. The guns, they have guns.
They have guns. I haven't gotten to them yet.
Oh, okay. Okay. Still a lot to get
I,
to.
I believe I'm on the mission right where you go to get some, but
Okay.
I'll find out from there.
Gotcha, gotcha. And the zombies. So the zombies, it doesn't seem like there's any from previous.
Technically, there are. They kind of redesigned them. You have Shambler, which is basically like, you know, the slow, kind of rotting ones that are just falling apart. Then a Walker, which is like a normal one. Then the Runner, which was the infected.
Right.
What were they? The Brutes or whatever they were called, the big ones. They're back.
The
But they're
thugs.
the Thugs, yeah. But now they're called like Crusher
Crusher.
or something. The Floater is technically back, but not really. You do fight one it's basically air quotes rotting itself from the inside out. So it's kind of it's the same concept. I forget what it's called, but it's not a floater.
Okay.
But then there's like variants where it's like a hydration zombie where they have like a water tank on their back, and if you blow open the water tank, it gets them all wet, so your electricity does more damage. There's like pyrotechnic ones, grenadier vest ones, you know, stuff like that.
Okay.
So there are a lot of variations, and it's pretty neat. And again, I'm sure there's a lot more types that I haven't seen yet. Because if you look in the encyclopedia, there's like 30 slots or 40 slots for zombies. So
Wow.
I'm sure there's plenty.
Nice. Okay. Basically, I guess a good question to lead us off here is so the game, it's a AAA game. It's a huge release, pretty damn big release. Dead Island 1 was fairly successful, very successful. We waited 9 years for it. 9 years, something like that. Damn, it was like 12 years ago Dead Island 1 came out. My God.
Yeah, I think it was 2011 it came out.
Yeah. So, is this game worth it? Who should get it? Who should stay away from it? Where
Honestly, I would say, you know, it is worth it, at least in my opinion. If you're looking for a game that's like the original Dead Island, I wouldn't really like if you're looking for like a clone of Dead Island 1, I wouldn't touch it. I mean, it's updated a lot. You know, like you used to have the 4 characters, and they used to be balanced pretty well. You know, like the one was a gun expert, the one was a knife expert, blunt weapons, throwing weapons, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It really had a nice feel to it. This one they added the 6, and there's no like nobody's really special with a specific weapon, so
Mm-hmm.
they kind of changed up that whole system. I haven't even gotten a Fury yet, so I don't know if Fury is even a thing in the game. I think it is. I don't know. It's not a clone of Dead Island 1, and honestly, if that's what you're looking for, stay away. But other than that, I would say it's worth every penny. If you really want a game you can sink some time into and explore zombified LA, it's beautiful.
Good zombie game.
Oh yeah, and it's actually pretty humorous too. There's a bunch of like funny little nods and like Easter eggs and stuff you would find. Like at one point you have to go through a streamer's house and they have like all these different streaming setups and it's pretty interesting. Like there's a bunch of stupid stuff like that, and there's one mission where you can help out a girl that's trying to make a video to get a bunch of likes and stuff. So you end up like killing a bunch of zombies in front of her, and she uses the premise of trying to use it to escape, to show the government how bad it is, when in reality she just wants fame. So
Okay.
it is very modern on how everything is, and it's pretty neat. I do like the game. I do highly recommend it. I've been sinking a lot of time into it lately, so
Okay.
it's definitely a good purchase.
Sounds good. Well, guys, that's pretty much the end of this video. Just the first impression look. Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully, we'll be talking more about Dead Island 2. But yeah, we're out of here.
Alrighty, thank you guys for watching.